Hi comedy fans, welcome back. You know I love hearing your thoughts on British TV, so I recently asked which British sitcoms you absolutely adore, or let's be honest, just can't stand. Out of the hundreds of replies I got, one title stood out. Sorry, I'm not apologising, that's the name of the show. This classic BBC One sitcom, broadcast from 1981 to 1988, starred the legendary Ronnie Corbett as Timothy Lumsden, a 41-year-old librarian who's sharp as a tack, witty but also incredibly shy and just a little bit awkward, especially when it comes to love. We watched as Timothy, time and time again, tried and failed to break free from the grip of his domineering mother, often joining his long-suffering dad in a silent rebellion against the family matriarch. Now, while lots of people praised its humour, the performance and that undeniable nostalgic feeling, others found parts of it, well, a bit frustrating or even outdated. So, what was the real deal with Sorry? Let's dive in and find out what people loved and perhaps what they didn't quite forgive. The central character of Timothy Lumsden is arguably the most significant feature contributing to the divided opinions surrounding Sorry. His portrayal as a perpetual mummy's boy produces both profound relatability and intense frustration from the audience. Timothy is frequently described in glowing terms by viewers who find his shy, bumbling character likeable. His wit and intelligence make him a sympathetic figure trapped by circumstances. The show's portrayal of an adult still living at home is seen as more relevant than ever as kids are unable to leave home and get on that property ladder, except that Timothy's 41 years old and does not appear to be in financial difficulty. Timothy's passive nature and his inability to assert himself against his mother are a significant source of viewer frustration. He's often perceived as pathetic and always gives way to his mother. The show's deliberate choice to maintain Timothy's stagnant state is a key factor in this frustration. However, if his circumstances did change, that would alter the sitcom premise, and sitcom episodes generally have to maintain the status quo so that the next episode continues from the same starting point. Ronnie Corbett's excellent performances, great comic timing and ability to deliver a very poignant performance at times are commended. He is credited with successfully carrying the show as a solo lead, transforming Timothy into one of the best-loved comic figures on British television. However, a notable segment of the opinion views Corbett as an average actor or limited actor. This criticism often stems from comparisons to his more acclaimed partnership with Ronnie Barker. However, in Sorry, Corbett isn't given the opportunity to display acting range. His maternally oppressed character is usually still an underdog even when his mother is not present. Viewers who saw him as Barker's straight man held a lower opinion of Corbett's solo comedic abilities. Fans who enjoyed Corbett in The Two Ronnies appreciated his unique, more subtle style and found Sorry to be a perfect vehicle for him. Barbara Lott's portrayal of Timothy's mother is almost universally praised. She is described as brilliant, hilarious and superb. Her perfect timing is frequently cited as a crucial element of the show's comedic success. The mother's shrill ruthlessness and snobbish demeanour are central to the show's humour, often delivered through memorable and idiosyncratic sayings like "Wash your handy pandies" or "Have you been today?" The humorous yet telling moniker of a Gestapo officer in a dress vividly captures the essence of her controlling and tyrannical nature. Despite the comedic elements, Mrs. Lumsden's domineering, overbearing and omnipresent control creates a sense of nightmarish captivity for Timothy. This dynamic, where she insists on treating him as if he was still a little boy, can invoke discomfort and a sense of underlying tragedy for viewers. In Series 6, Episode 4, Gone But Not Forgotten, she manipulates Timothy by pretending to be dead, so she can observe how he arranges the funeral. This highlights the unsettling aspects of her control, pushing the comedy into darker territory. The show's deliberate choice to leave the question of why his mother is so controlling of him unanswered further contributes to this psychological depth or unease. Contemporary audiences with increased awareness of mental health, personal autonomy and nuances of potentially abusive relationships might view the mother's actions with less appreciation. This leads to a generational divide in reception, where older viewers might appreciate the show as a product of its time, while newer viewers or those with different social sensibilities might find certain aspects uncomfortable or even problematic. Sorry is praised for its ability to derive fantastic comedy from the most mundane situations. This approach positions the show as an old-fashioned situation comedy that is inoffensive, mildly amusing family viewing. This comedic style, grounded in everyday life and repetitive gags, creates a sense of comfort and familiarity for many viewers, especially those who grew up with the show. However, for audiences accustomed to more dynamic or innovative comedic formats, like single camera without a laugh track and less resistance on catchphrases, this style might feel dated or less engaging. This creates a clear division. Some value the classic, predictable structure, while others seek fresh comedic approaches. Sorry is capable of being laugh out loud funny, but also subtle and even moving, giving it more of an edge than other quite mainstream contemporaries. The show's pathos stems from Timothy's inescapable domestic situation, drawing direct comparisons to the darker, more profound British sitcom Steptoe and Son. Steptoe and Son is revered for its dark, often bleak exploration of familial entrapment, unfulfilled aspirations, and using comedy to highlight tragic elements. By drawing this comparison, Sorry is elevated beyond a simple light comedy, delving into the real ring of truth of a frustrating, perhaps even depressing life situation. For viewers who appreciate this depth and realism, the show's bittersweet nature elevates it, making it poignant and very good. However, for those who watch sitcoms primarily for pure escapism and consistent laughs, this underlying tragedy can be off-putting or even depressing, leading them to rate it lower or dislike it. The show's refusal to offer a definitive happy ending for Timothy, maintaining his stagnant state for comedic consistency, can be perceived as a narrative flaw by those who prefer resolution or less emotional weight in their sitcoms. Sorry is frequently lauded as an underrated gem, indicating a strong emotional attachment by its fanbase. The show's humour and themes are perceived as timeless, suggesting an enduring quality that transcends its 1980s origin and continues to resonate with contemporary viewers. Despite its fan appreciation and perceived timelessness, Sorry had only a few reruns compared to other acclaimed sitcoms. Series 1 and Series 2 were most recently repeated on BBC One in 2016. Series 3 to 7 were only repeated once on BBC One in the year following their original broadcast. The show was also shown on UK TV Gold from 2014 to 2016, as it was on That's TV in 2023. This leads to speculation about whether it would be commissioned today. Some forum users explicitly stated that Sorry is a lot better than some of the modern rubbish they call sitcoms, indicating a preference for its traditional style over the more contemporary comedic offerings. The divisions between fans' strong nostalgic affection and the show's apparent lack of reruns hints at a broader industry trend. While fans cherish its nostalgic, comfort and timeless themes, broadcasters may assess its broader appeal differently. The British television landscape has shifted significantly since the 1980s, moving away from multi-camera studio-based sitcoms with laugh tracks. Sorry's adherence to the older format might make it seem less modern or adaptable for new commissions, regardless of its inherent quality. Ultimately, Sorry stands as a fascinating case study in British comedy. Despite its impressive run and being championed by a dedicated fanbase as a comedy gem, it consistently divides opinion. Its comedic genius for many came from that gentle observational humour paired with a relatable sense of pathos. Yet for others, those very same elements were precisely what fell flat, leading to criticisms of a frustrating main character, an outdated feel and repetitive gags and thematic undertones that just didn't sit right. And remember, Timothy did eventually break free from his mother's influence, although it took until the final episode, a hot air balloon, his girlfriend and his father, to pull off that dramatic exit. I really hope you enjoyed this dive into the mixed bag that is Sorry. Now I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on Timothy's long-suffering journey? Let me know in the comments below, and if you like the video, please hit the subscribe button and give it a like so you don't miss our next sitcom deep dive. Thanks for watching.